Good afternoon, everyone. It's me along with the both Googs today, and we're going to talk about the Dragon Quest IX event. It's a pretty in-depth event, so there's a lot to go through. So since I've got some tickets and stuff, while I quickly go through the unit, I'll also do the ticket pools as well. So let's go. First of all, though, we do have Barbarus, who is a interesting Sam Breath damage unit. Very Sam specific. I'm good. I've already got these reviews out, so it's not going to be very long. But basically, this is a dragon that is pretty powerful overall. But the main thing is it is completely Zam based off damage. It will help amplify Zam damage as well. I was hoping to get one, did not, but not really going to go beyond that. Will be very useful for dungeons that have very weak against Sam. Otherwise, though, it is a very niche unit. I think it's these type of units are very important, though, but most importantly, looking through here, Ruinous Magic is going to be its big attack here, along with the Dark Dragon. But otherwise, not much else to say, and just go to my unit reviews, and I'll go much more into detail here. Next one here is Greygnarl. The opposite of Barbarus is Sap Breath damage. This is actually a much better unit overall. I already actually got one of him already. And personally, I think this is the better unit now. Barbarus might be better, though, believe it or not, 6 months to a year in the future. So it's kind of one of those. They're both got their uses. But this one is got both the ability to do Sap with Lightning Breath and also Sizz with Great Fireball. Inflicts great breath damage there. So overall has a much better full usage here. But the main thing here is the First Awakening, which I'm hoping to get with these tickets. Otherwise, I might just use there. Is gets the movement +1 and breath power +20. This is kind of what you're really hoping for overall. But in general, if you love dragons and you need to try to get a dragon unit, I would advise to get Greygnarl there. Yeah, got his awakening. So, all in all, Greygnarl is the better unit, I feel, for now, but Barbarus could be better in the future, especially if we really need Sam, or, like element-specific units, then they're great. And for one of the other ones coming in the future, that's also going to be something that is happening. One of the next units is Corvus, a very interesting boss unit magic, increases spell damage overall. But all in general, I will be updating Corvus, but we will go through here. And the next one here is Fallen Angel Corvus. This is going to be kind of like a big unit that everyone's probably going to want to go for. This increases the dodge rate by 100% for 3 turns. Generally, though, the rest of his skills are very useful as well. Actually, it's great against non-boss units, which you'll fight more and more often. And Catastrophe is actually a pretty powerful skill as well. The last one here is Dark Emperor Godwyn. Actually, we might be getting that next. Then the Corvus reduces Zam resistance there. This is an interesting unit where it can trap units, but I just don't think it really worked very well. Its First Awakening, if when attacked, you can counter it with that evil trap. Very interesting unit, but personally, I think it's the worst one out of the 5. And last but not least is Stella. Stella is a very good free unit. Normally, I show you how to do the free units in the event. They did greatly simplify the free units, though, with Stella. And I'm actually going to go through Stella in depth here because she doesn't get her own banner, and instead is the farmable unit, and she is very strong. Stella increases physical power and effect by 10%. It's actually kind of useful, but more into free to play friends. There's obviously better units overall that you can use, but from a very general, that's not too bad. Her, you can farm her right now and wishes come true. In this one right here, I do the 15 here. I've actually got enough energy, so we'll do a quick farm here with my team that I'm trying to do some EXP on. Her first skill, Sizz Force, is incredibly important. This range can go up to 2. Increases Sizz damage and resistance by 20% for Sizz. And, you know, these enemies all kind of have their own elements that they can do forces on. Axolhotl will do Frizz, Zap and Zap for the dragons. These will be important later on, especially also if you're focusing like in arena units and you find a certain strength or weakness you got to try to cover up. Sizz Force is one way to help really amplify that overall. And for Stella being free and she has a very useful overall abilities, I would highly suggest getting all these through. Her next one, Sizzle Shot, inflicts a large amount of sizzle damage and moves up to 2 squares behind the shot, so it allows her to move up more. Personally, this is her best and only attack, and with Sizz Force can be there, but you're not going to use it a great deal. It requires moving around, which her first awakening does for the movement. But generally, you're going to be using her more for her fairy healing, which greatly recover HP, all area effect, and Sizz Force, than you are going to be for Sizzle Shot. Sizzle Shot's more for desperate, I need to kill type things instead. She also has the ability to give her fairy healing effect, Salmon Sizz Resist. The last unit here is, last one is increases the power and effect of physical skills when you recover HP with physical skills. So she can actually increase power at the last one. This is what really makes her so special. Of course, I have not been getting very good luck with Stella right now. Actually, I've been getting a lot of the overall maps. But let's go on to the summonable units here. Axolhotl is actually a very interesting unit. I've actually got to rank him up right now so I can level him up. But Axolhotl is a top end A unit personally, and the main reason is the second skill is Frizz Force. Frizz Force is the top skill for him. You're going to use this to get the extra damage and damage reduction for Frizzle. That would be good enough for me. A6. The other two I've covered already in the Greygnarl and Barbarus, but I just want to kind of point out the importance of Axolhotl once again, even though I did so on their banner. For Corvus is Blood Mummy. This is the summonable unit here. Very interesting unit because of the ability to reduce speed, curse, and all that. Very useful just because of all the different debilitations that they can do. I will go over this a little bit more in detail after that. But personally, Blood Mummy goes very, very well with Barbarus because of the reduced SAM resistance and lowers enemy SAM resistance by 10%. Cumulus Hex is for Fallen Angel Corvus. Interesting breath unit. Can actually do a large amount of damage overall. All in all, not the greatest unit in the game, but this Ice Crystal's Breath is great. Decent HP and defense stats and agility. The movement is his greatest nemesis. The last one is for Dark Emperor Godwyn is Sootheslime, and that has some very interesting abilities to heal as a reflex action 3 times if the unit's HP goes below 50%. But otherwise, it's not a very good unit. And there's going to be 7 farmable units right now. Some of them are already in here. I believe the B unit right now is and Wishes Come True. The other units will be coming a little bit later. Actually, no. Yes. Sorry. It's it's the B unit. So right now we can farm 2 units, Stella and the summoner here. I would 100% just focus on Stella until you get her to 5 hearts, then focus on the rest. The only issue here is that if you're a little slow in Stella and only get her to 4, you need to start farming these maps. And this is the problem with the Dragon Quest IX events, is that it is all based on maps and RNG. And some units you can farm will drop certain maps, others will drop others. So, just to be there. Unit here, Inertia, is going to be a part of the Summon Battle Roads here. It will be part of the main story. Otherwise, the rest of these units are not super important, but you are going to farm a decent amount of them only because of the fact that we need to get so many maps for the next things that are going through. So let's go through with the weapons and armor. There is actually going to be 8 weapons, 2 pieces of armor, 4 and 1 for S and 4 and 1 for A. The S are here, and I'll talk about the A a little bit later. Evil Eye Axe, which would be Fallen Angel Corvus, which we don't have yet, is a Tact 28, physical power +4, gives skills for the Fallen Angel, HP, MP, and attack. The next one's Aurora Wand. It's one of the Devil's maps. Gives you MP 11, Wisdom +28. Is a very good spell power and recovery spell effect. MP, Wisdom, Agility. This is actually a really nice wand that you're going to try and do for the recovery spell power if you can. It will be helpful for anyone that it heals for you in general. Galaxy Sword, HP 30, attack 30, and grants you the ability to have a chase attack. It's not a very powerful skill, but any extra damage is always useful and can be a little bit surprising in Arena. So that is something that's kind of important to farm. You would get attack, HP, and agility. Personally, I'd focus on HP and agility on the sword, as you're going to want the unit to be hit and then do a chase afterwards, depending on how you play. At this point, HP is becoming my main thing, with agility on the side, depending on some units overall in general. But I think those are more important stats now than attack, which kind of goes against like the early part. But now with the game more focusing on guild wars and stuff, that's where you really want to focus on, especially swords like this, where you can kind of sneak a little bit more damage in. You just want to survive longer, and that's the way to do it. Fallen Sword is Distract Expedition. Gives you HP, agility, and spell power. Actually, it shouldn't be spell. No, whatever. Gives dual wind cross, cycle burst, agility, HP, and attack. And you'll see that later. And the last one here is the Shitpants Helmet, which is the Total War, which we do have currently. And actually, I did not translate that one. It's the All Out Battle. Get that one on getting it very hard point here, but you get some whoosh spell resist and defense and alchemy poison and defense, HP, and agility. It goes through the whole here. Basically, obviously, the goal is probably to have poison and whoosh resist is to focus on for alchemy. For the Dragon Quest event here, CB Sword. Is a good is the skill for, and sorry, I forget which one it is already. It's Crackle Physical +4%. You can gain the skills for the unit. Crackle, Physical, and HP, and Attack, and Agility. I believe it's for regular Corvus. This Crackle Physical here, you can just focus in on other units do like the CP Sword. And personally, I would focus on Crackle Physical than just the skills, as you're really going to want to probably use that for units that have the Crackle Physical if you don't have their swords or weapons already. Corpse Emperor Sword is for our undead unit. You're going to probably focus on skills if you get the unit. Otherwise, this is one of the ones where it gives physical power plus 2%, so you can do the HP and agility. And personally, unless if you love Godwyn, I would just focus on the HP and agility. Once again, physical power plus 2% is a wonderful regular boost, and you're going to use that more than even really attack. And HP 45 goes a lot longer than you would expect, especially on the PvP side where you have 30% resistance or buff or damage reduction. That turns more into around 60 HP, and then and that's generally in the A range. If you're lucky, you can get your HP up to over 150, which gives you a pretty large boost and allows you basically to survive one more hit, which can be the difference between getting a very high score or a very low score in Guild Wars. Stella's Nails is for Stella. Recovery plus 3%. Not really much else to go for other than that's something that you should try and unlock a pretty good thing on, because you will be using Stella in a lot from here on out. Light Dragon Dagger and Dark Dragon Dagger are for the two dragons, Greygnarl and Barbarus each. If you get both of the dragons, focus on their skills. If you don't have their dragons, then you're going to just focus basically on the others. But I would still get them with the. I would expect the 1.5 pulse to be coming out relatively soon, and with that, we will be able to potentially draw these, or even the 2-year anniversaries or banners that come back. And it's nice to have those for that. Otherwise, though, quite honestly, these are relatively worthless daggers. I'm only going to get enough to get the alchemy skills good enough, but I'm not going super, super high. I might go a little harder for Greygnarl, because now I got him at +1. Is right where I want him. And I don't have Barbarus right now. As if it doesn't look like I'll get him unless if I get really, really lucky. All right. So we have the Fallen Angel battles. This one, I'm just going to go through quick. This is our normal 0 stamina battles. There's going to be 8 total levels. One with Corvus, the other one with Fallen Angel Corvus. Or Demon Corvus, however you want to kind of call this. This is where you're going to get the Evil Eye Axe, only as a first reward. As you can see here, you can get up to like 30. So this is going to be something that you want to focus on. This isn't too much later, so I won't go into exactly how to go through it in this one. Otherwise, this review would take over an hour and a half if I was going to go to that much detail with all this. There are a lot of these type of battles to go through, and it is kind of interesting, but your energy will go by fast and overall here after you're done with all the 0 EX, because you're just going to be farming for maps. The next one is the Light and Darkness battles. You can get some maps here. I actually put what would be one of the most free-to-play-ist chances here to get all of the rewards. The main issue is that Jessica is really dependent on, and it is dependent on a very highly powerful Jessica. So if you don't have a very powerful Jessica, this might not work out super, super well for you, but at least should get you to 225, and then you can rerun these battles for the other skills here. Jessica, though, does need 477 quickness, and you want Sandy, then Jessica, then Greygnarl, Barbarus, Seraphy, and the 2 tanks. You can replace one of these tanks with a Diamond Slime. You won't get the 225 weight, but it would be very easy overall. And you could replace another healer with Seraphy, but once again, it's the same issue. This is the best way to get the 225 for the points. And basically, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be protecting each of the units. You're going to be buffing up Jessica, and Jessica is going to be destroying both of these units. It's a fairly simple one. It can be done with all this here, but once again, you can play around. This is mostly for the 225. The equipment here is what was done in Japan. This is not the only way to do this, but this is just one example. Now, there's another thing that will be coming probably within a week. Demon King maps here. There will be the 4. You have them here. I actually didn't even translate them from the Japanese name, so I do apologize. That's Sunday is the free unit that we've got. But all in all, we have the Demon King maps. They all follow roughly the same thing here. Basically, within 5 turns for level 50, no recovery, and the free unit Stella in the formation here. And level 50 requires a weight limit, 75 and 99 as well. They're all the same. Notes is just making sure that you don't kill there. But you need to get a map of each of these Demon Kings, and each of these have 3 levels as stated. So right then and there you see that in order to get there you use these maps. You can get the Galaxy Sword and Rororon from this, and also you complete this to get Fruits of the Goddess, which you can see in the swap shop here. There are other ways to get Fruits of the Goddess all the way through, but you do have the ability to get a lot of iridescent orbs, which I desperately need, and a lot of fragments. There's no way to clear out, at least I don't think there's no real practical way to clear out the shop, but depending on you go through that, these are very important rewards, so make sure that you try and do them. Each of the skills here is basically there, but in all honesty, Sizz and Sizz Force are going to be your best bet to beat all 4 of these. Bang is actually another good one as well. It's just strong 3 or 4, and 2 of the 4 is strong with Crackle. So it's going to be basically the elements to play around with, but you can use the same team for all of them. And Jessica, I think, can actually clear, I think, the level 50 by herself if she's strong enough. And with Stella, I don't know, that does not keep it under the is it 130 or 100? 130, so it does keep it under 130. I think that's all you really need for the level 50, and then 75, that still might fly, and then the 99, it requires a little bit more overall. But this is a little bit easier than some of the other stuff that we've gone through, so it shouldn't be too bad overall. Now we have the Gentle Capture. You're going to be, we still don't have this currently. That should be the next update, which is the 2nd week, which will be next Thursday, which will be the 7th or 6th. And this is where you're going to be doing most of your farming. All of the drops will be for, there will be 3 that you can get with the Wishes Come True, which is Invisible Genie, Rough Light, and Endless Regions. Let me just kind of point you to that right now. They're actually going to be called a little differently. Ruby Path of Doom, Wild World of Light, and Mysterious Newid Isle are the 3 here that would be instead of Invisible Genie, Rough Light, Endless Regions. And the other will be the 4 from the Japanese side. names here, Dragon King, etc., Zoma, etc., etc. You will be farming this the most, I think, out of all of this. The units aren't the greatest, but you're actually going to farm those only because of the fact that you really need to get these maps. And this will be the least painless ways of getting the maps, let's just say. The other ones will be go for it. And there's going to be other units that we can get as well. And these will drop the 3 other units as well. And you can get it with all the other units there. But let's go out with the all-out battle. And so this is the one that we do currently have, the Gitish Empire. There are 5 different battles. I honestly haven't done them. This will drop the Shinpen's helmet. And this is the type of battle where you've got to go with 5 different teams. You can't use equipment, etc., etc. I've spent most of my day preparing this guide, so I haven't had a chance to unlock to get to Dark Emperor Godwyn. And then you also do fight Corvus at the end as well. The teams suggested are here. You can play around with that as much as you'd like. Just to go through an example here, you do have the weight class as well in order to get the goddess fruit, and you do want to try and focus on the goddess fruits. So, the wishes come true is what we've currently going through. In all honesty, we've already kind of talked about this. I'm not going to go into a great deal amount of detail here, but first, focus on Stella. Stella's by far the most important unit to farm for in the entire game. Or not game, sorry, entire event. It gives, as I said, it drops the 3 here. The rest here, then I would actually focus a little bit to make sure that her nails are up to their date. Then you can start focusing on our free unit here as well. And finally, we have 2 battle roads. Nushima that has 5 new units. Unfortunately, 2 of them are and the gotchas. The other 3, though, you can drop. And actually, all 5 of these are all world, so it shouldn't be that hard to get the units for Nushima. And the other battle road is Stella, which is a bit more expensive. Not everybody has the powerful A. The good news is Stella is free, and so is the B unit, which you can actually start farming now, which is currently out. The other units here, and I do have Greygnarl, Axolhotl. So, all in all, this is actually going to be one of those fairly busy events in the early part, and then you're just going to be grinding it out all the way through. So, there will be the 1.5 anniversary coming through as well. There will be some other events there, which will be kind of nice because by the time that goes there, honestly, you will be a little bit burnt out trying to farm for the maps. So most importantly for this event, just kind of do TLDR because this is a pretty lengthy one. I do apologize, but all in all, it is going to be focus on the maps. You're going to be farming maps, and you're going to want to get Stella. Stella is your number 1 target, and this is going to be a little bit frustrating because some people are going to have really good RNG and other people are going to have really bad RNG for the maps, and that's what's really going to hurt overall. I think I've got some of these here. But the nice thing is, with this mysterious Nuid Isle, that is the map that you want the most because you want to try and get these maps. You're going to be farming as much as possible. This is where the frustration is going to be, is that honestly, some people will be able to drop these maps, get them done fairly quickly. It's actually not incredibly hard to do so. I don't even know how many maps I've gotten already, but we'll farm that right now. Hopefully, get something really, really nice in general. But it does actually have some pretty nice enemies. This is a fairly simple map. Um, and this is my leveling team. Yes, my Sorrow's trying to get to level 130. So this is definitely going to be something that is fairly easy in general. For me, at least for the first couple weeks, because I have to farm my season 8 or level up rank 8 units. So before we leave, we'll see what this drops as, see how good my luck is. Theoretically, if you farm really, really hard, you can get enough of these. I'm still calling them goddess fruits, the figs. You could theoretically get enough. You also get stamina herbs, which will help you overall. You could get enough to actually farm, but this is the one that I think I'm most excited about. The others are still interesting, though. I still got one more. Nice. So, with that, I'm going to leave you guys. This has been a really long video. It is going to take me some time to get everything done. So, I hope you guys enjoy. I will see you guys later. Y'all have a good day.